number 93.
Tom, are you finger painting?
Yeah, I'm just teaching at the moment.
Podcast?
Because we're in the business of making money.
Yeah, I think I've really kind of found my calling in life, you know? Since when do you have donkeys? Actually, I kind of like the idea of a podcast. I'm in.
Hey guys, it's Tom down here at Unibar
Here we
Uni
go.
of Adelaide. Just like to welcome you to our first podcast. And I'd just like to introduce my man Danny over here.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy, D-Dragon,
The D
on the mic.
It
Here we
is.
go.
No, we'd just like to welcome everyone. Thanks for coming out. Obviously, big NG barbecue. There's great energies here today. So it was actually really sunny. Loved it. Getting a few froths out there. Anyway, so let's get straight off the bat. Let's get into COVID plan, Danny. Obviously, it's been the last few months, and there's a few things. So everyone that's here in person, we've got the webcam, the microphone pointed out at the audience, and if you want to come up, then you're more than welcome. There's a sort of assigned space. You must be that 1.5 metres from the equipment, according to the Uni of Adelaide's COVID plan for us. No one is allowed to touch that equipment.
So yeah, we've got
but we welcome anyone that has anything to say, positive, negative, whatever. Just come out and have a yarn.
Exactly.
And then if you obviously want to be on the show, you give us a thumbs up. That means you're giving us permission. We'll put you on the stream. If you give us a thumbs down,
we've got to follow the COVID plan
turn
pretty
your microphone
clear
on.
as well. So
And,
student media has its own COVID plan,
That's
and
it,
we've got
yeah.
to follow our other one. So currently getting
Turn it up.
getting chat from a whole bunch of the crowd saying we've got to turn this
Yeah.
shit up because
turn that
we
up
gotta
on
crank
the
this shit up, baby.
Yeah. So we're just running a little bit of a.
All right.
Is that better, boys?
Better.
That's better for the
Right.
set? Yeah. All right.
Is
So
that
we're
better,
sort of
Marky,
running
there,
like
is
two
it?
platforms at the moment. So we're running the live stream,
I
obviously,
can't
for
hear a
those
thing
at
you're
home
saying, Mark.
that are streaming in, whether they're at work, home, anything like that, or if you're down at uni and you've been at the NG barbecue and you're getting a few brewskis into you, like my man Danny over here. He's got a smile as big.
I'm happy because I've had a few beers now. I've had a
Yeah.
couple of days where I've been a bit lackluster, but now I'm back on the brewski, so we're
That's
happy
it.
now.
You've been eating a bit of a liquid lunch, though, haven't you?
I had a bit of stir fry earlier, so we'll call the stir fry somewhat of a meal. A little succulent Chinese meal,
Yeah.
and we'll call that something. So I've got my stomach has got a little bit of food in it, but mostly we've got a bit of food in it.
Let's tell us a little bit about you. I mean, like, obviously you're drinking and you're Irish, so there's a bit of a stereotype.
Oh, well, I mean, let's be clear here. I think it's difficult to actually call me Irish because I don't think I can actually really say that.
Yeah.
I think basically the fact that I've only got my parents to call myself Irish, but really I was actually born in Scotland. So if anybody's
Yeah.
going to call me Irish, I think there's a little disclaimer there. I think
it
to be
is.
fair.
But it's good, no, and it's great. Like, I mean, for however long this sort of lasts, post COVID, getting that bit of culture back on campus. You know, getting people.
Oh, of course.
Bro, like, I can't rave on about this enough. Like, getting people involved, getting them to chat, like having.
Oh, of
beer.
course. Like to be fair, like there's been, I mean, at the moment, you know, with like the fact that COVID's basically struck pretty hard. I mean, there's been nothing really happening. I mean, the whole last semester, I mean, no one's really at uni. But now, at least that we're back,
Yeah.
things are actually happening.
Yeah, it
so,
is.
I mean, what better way to kind of kick off? I know we're third week now, so it's kind of we're still kind of kicking everything off.
Yeah.
But we'll call it like we're back now.
We're also, you know, like with what's going on in Victoria and New South, like we could be a few weeks away.
It could be so much worse. Let's be
We
clear.
could be a few weeks away of no more public beverages, you know. So
Look, and I'll drink to that, baby. I'll
but
drink to that, baby.
That's just how it is, you know. So
So about us.
yeah,
Now-
about us. Let's start from the beginning. Obviously, episode 1. Let's start off.
Let's be clear here. Okay, we're a bit like kind of Tom and Jerry, except a little bit less family friendly and not a children's cartoon at all.
You're saying I'm not family friendly. I'm not good around.
Oh no, definitely family friendly. There's gonna be no
fantastic.
fucking shit chat here at all.
I mean, Tom and Jerry, I mean, they're an iconic duo, but I fucking hate cats.
I fucking hate cats.
Oh,
I fucking hate
man.
cats.
No.
I think it's quite remarkable, though, that I think we've, like, let's be clear, we've come full circle.
Yeah.
All right, we've come full circle. We've gone through. I'm not sure if anybody who's listening now is actually. We put a few promo videos up. We've gotten done our own kind of arts and crafts here.
Yeah.
A few videos been going up, but now we're doing this. So we're kind of in the media department now. So I think we've come from kind of shitting on the art students to now come full circle that we're kind of almost studying the arts now. Would you say?
I know. I mean, like. In the last few weeks, we've put a little bit of time into this promo stuff. I thought that coming out of COVID, maybe it'd excite people. They'd come back to campus. We spent, probably filming. We probably spent like 3 or 4 hours. It's probably 4 or 5 hours of editing.
Yeah.
It wasn't too many. I mean, you can sort of tell. Like we managed to pick, and we purposely picked the cuts that were the least photogenic. We had a few that looked good.
What do you mean least photogenic cuts?
No,
What do you
looked
mean?
good. It was good acting. It was good. But then we picked the ones that were the funniest, and so that's what it was all about. It was all about a bit of fun, just having a bit of a laugh on campus, taking a Mickey out of all the degrees, including engineering. And I mean, obviously, like we both study engineering. So myself, I study mechanical, it's
So
the good engineering.
Tommy, I believe, is a straight mechanical engineering aficionado. He's really getting into that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Whereas myself, I'm more of a
Tell
I'm one of the
us
special
what
ones.
you study though. Like, what are you?
Well, I mean, I'll fucking be the first man to say that I'm doing a mechanical and sustainable engineering gig.
Sustainable.
Sustainable.
That word.
baby.
That's our buzzword. So basically,
sustainable.
what you're saying is you're a greenie with an engineering degree.
Well, not yet. I mean, I'm not going to be one of
You're
the
almost there.
like one of the med kids or the law kids that say I'm a fucking doctor. I'm a law kid.
It's almost as if you're a soul member, but you're actually going to solve problems rather than just yell and scream about it. I
had the decision a long time ago was if I wanted to start solving all these problems that I'd fucking get on these protests, the protest wagon. But I think it's probably a little bit redundant, a lot of the shit that happens. I mean, I'll protest a bit if I want, but I think it's probably best to actually get on and actually try and solve some problems. So, anybody who's thinking about protesting a few things, maybe see what you can actually do to actually fucking solve some problems here. Not to say that I'm actually going to solve any at this stage, but actually I'm making some sort of an effort.
But it's a step in the right direction. It's going to that problem. It's solving it. I mean, you are a greenie and you're the lesser of the engineering degrees, but I applaud you for it because someone's going to be out there doing it. And I mean, even us chatting about this right now, I mean, uni's not supposed to be a safe space. It's supposed to be a fun and experience, like...
Everybody going...
Well, at least that's how I see it. You're supposed to try new things and find your way.
Dude, everybody going on and on and on. You're supposed to fucking criticize a whole bunch of shit that goes on, so hopefully you can find the fucking free world, the true free world. I mean... Hang on, I'm about to burp here, so I have a belch.
Well, we might have to get you to breath though, so that you can drive this vehicle responsibly.
I'm driving this vehicle, baby. I'm driving this vehicle.
It's how it is. But yeah, I mean, and on the whole experience, like what people don't get, and we sort of chat about this, is that like freedom of speech is like a big thing, and it should be. Absolutely, like, unchallenged. Anyone, whether I disagree.
Oh, of course, you should. Now, let's be clear here. You have the right to fucking say anything you want, but that doesn't mean you have the right for someone not to fucking criticize you for it. No. You can stand up on stage, like what we're doing, and say the dumbest shit, or you could say, I'm fucking believing this, I believe in that. But you can't expect to just fucking stand up and say something dumb and everyone will be like, oh, that's a fucking great thing that you're saying. Congratulations, give it a pat on the back. It's like, actually, hang on a second here.
And it is, because it's that freedom of speech isn't freedom from repercussions, whether that's judging or ridicule, like everyone's got their hang-ups, everyone's got their beliefs. That's why we're different and it's good. I mean, like at the most extreme, and I'll bring you to this because I know you're not sort of into this, but we've got Drew Pavlau.
Yeah, I've got no idea about who this guy is.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
I've heard you chat about him, but I've got fucking no clue, to be fair.
And I've sort of made a few comments about his sort of scenario, which so what he sort of did, he came out, he had a protest. UQ's obviously got a lot of funding through international students, and it's sort of propping up them economically and making them get out of their black budget hole that they were in a few years ago. And he sort of came out. He's sort of like this leftist character. He came out. His protest, and this is classic. Like, I want to encourage more protest.
I want to hear this kind of protest.
More
What did he protest?
Funny protest, because this guy. So what he did, he came out in a biohazard suit. He said that
In a biohazard suit.
yeah, in a biohazard suit to the Confucius Institute, and said that the Chinese influx of students is a risk to the uni. In so many words, that's not direct. And he basically came out and
fucking
sort
stood
of,
there in a fucking biohazard suit and was like, "What the fuck's going on here, lads?"
he said something along the lines that the CCP is a biohazard to freedom of speech, or something of the sort. And UQ's sort of come out and because they're getting so much funding, it's very sort of like out there. He got suspended. He got in trouble. Like, bravo actually to his like protest, because that's funny. Like, I couldn't
Fuck
imagine.
it out. I imagine if somebody here fucking dressed up in a biohazard suit and started protesting Confucius Institute, I wonder who'd be the first person to clap back against that.
None of this arts and crafts sort of shenanigans. More about let's get a little scenario, a bit of dancing, a bit of mannequins or something. I don't know, like those sort of people get creative. We got creative with the promo video.
Exactly. Like, I think maybe I should fucking start dressing up in a fucking biohazard suit.
Well, with how much you're the marketing team of this duo, doesn't do much work, but that's fantastic. Is with the brains of this. And you've been getting your posts
this is
deleted.
my show. This is my show, not Tom's show.
Yeah, no. So no, I think it's fantastic. I think it's great. But so initially, when we sort of came forward with this idea, we were approached by a few people.
going back to the origin story, almost the original fucking things.
The original. So the original thing, the facilities on campus.
Was it February or March that first kind of things came out?
No, it was just. Yeah, it was hard to say.
It's been let's just say it's been a fair few months.
It's
since
been
the
a lot
first
of
kind of
months.
concept went out.
Yeah, so a few months ago there was like a few sort of like different groups sort of approached me, and were like, oh, we've got these podcast facilities, like we'd like to, and then there was a bit of chat, and I'm doing my honours this year, so I was like, oh, if there's anyone that's got good energy, it's my boy.
D-Dragon, baby, watch out. Spitting mad flames on the mic every fucking night, so watch out, baby.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, well, we don't want to record in a room. What do people want? What do they want to do? People want to have beers and fun. They want to come out. They want to have a laugh.
So let's be clear here. How many people want to fucking sit around and listen to us chat shit about fucking birthdays? And fucking, if we could talk about birthdays for fucking half an hour if we really wanted to.
Yeah.
But I mean, people don't really want to like if you kind of put out this kind of a podcast for the university, you want to have more people engaged with it than people just thinking, oh, this thing's on, I'm going to listen to it in private. So what better way? So from my perspective, it was originally kind of advertised as it was going to be all online, something that we would potentially do, or Ralphie would just do, or myself would do with him, and just put it online gradually. But at the end of the day, we said, fuck that, we're doing it live, baby. We're doing it live, baby.
Well, that's it. But then, so as soon as we came up with this idea and we were like, we want to do it live, we want to have people involved, then we sort of hit the tech snare. So the tech that we have on campus is all about recording and stuff like that. And secondly, live stream, it's a whole other ball game. You need programs and stuff like that. So big props. We got my man Norton out on the stage. Oh. He's not in view of that audience cam.
He's not even listening to us. He's playing on his phone.
So me and him, we've
been
working
on Tinder. Like always, he's always on Tinder.
That's it. So we've been working on a program just to make sure that we can stream and it sort of like picks who's talking and stuff like that, because there's actually nothing out there that you can pay for anything like that. So we've been working on that at the moment. That's still in development, but that's the end goal, is that we can do. It's easy to run. It's fun.
Yeah,
gets people involved.
Exactly. You know, you want to put the effort into that to make it as easy as possible for us. Like we're just here having a laugh, having a joke around, having a bit of
that's
crack.
it.
But I mean, if you can we can make our lives as easy as possible, then that's fucking as best you can get it. So, fucking fair play to you lads.
Absolutely. And the thing is, like, so we've sort of, like, we want anyone has any gripes, any issues, anything they want to bring up. Like, they can come up, they can get on it, get involved. That's why it's interactive.
If anybody's
And we've got our
interested.
man coming forward. He's good. and that's what it's about. Like, so we've also got, we probably didn't mention before, we're going to have a few little comps. So we've got a few jugs to give away. And I'm just going to call it now. I've already put it up. So
Already
one of the
call 'em
comps
now.
today,
Here we
best
go.
mullet wig and best dress. So anyone that's dressed with a mullet wig and best dress that's out there, we're going to call that later on, and the winner is going to be determined. So
I have a feeling there's somebody in the crowd who's already won this competition. To be fair,
I really know it.
We've got one contender.
Like, just the fucking champion mullet wig. I think it's great. I think it's cool. I don't know why he's coming out, but want to get him here. Want to get him on the podcast and chat and see why he won this, because he's absolutely flattering. But
Okay, so one of the things I want to move on with is the idea that now, obviously, with regards to the whole overheard shit, we're not going to talk fucking all day about overheard because nobody wants to listen to that. But one of the things we do want to have a quick brief chat about is the fact that although people like to give Mr. Thomas Ralph here a bit of grief for taking the piss out of all the art students, he's given them the opportunity multiple times now to get involved and get engaged and hosting a fucking meme competition, which would be right up the art students' alleyway. Except the problem is that although our students don't have quite as much of a sense of humor, so I think they struggle with the actual meme department. But the art side, then maybe they'd get away with it. But yet no art students have actually entered, have they?
Yeah.
There's been nothing going on about it.
No.
So what are you going to do? I think we're actually the better artists at this university anyway.
yeah, for sure. So probably when we can really start, I mean, we haven't also said today the sort of theme is about COVID, the wrap up of COVID. We don't know if we're going into another lockdown or, you know, anything like that, because SA is fantastic. So we're not getting many cases, we're not getting anything, but it's always
We're
that
doing
doom and gloom.
fantastically. Fantastic.
Well,
Well,
it's being pragmatic. So
better than everywhere
I
else.
want to go to you, Danny. I want to know what you're sort of thinking about. What do you remember from COVID? Like, what were you doing? We'll start with say Feb. What were you sort of doing?
So, COVID-wise, when everything started breaking out, I had probably the easiest time ever. So I was, okay, I mean, no one wants to hear me chat and rave about the fact that I had a fucking knee operation. But the best thing is that I went and got a knee reconstruction, and like the day after, I think it was day after or 2 days after, they'd cancelled all elective surgeries from then on for the time being.
I'm going to cut it right here because
flights.
it wasn't 2 days. It was
Sorry?
that night that your surgery happened, and then they shut it off because you slipped a short fitty under the table to get in before it.
I mean, I have a certain way with certain people. I will perform special favors.
Yeah.
I mean, if I've got to do whatever I've got to do to get my fucking knee done, I'll do it.
You're a man that gets it done. That's what I'm going to say.
But basically, the best thing is that after I got it done and found out that nobody was going anywhere, and then the next thing I heard, I was like, yeah, fuck it. I'm basically putting you in the back burner. The best thing was hearing that everything was going online, which was fucking phenomenal. That went all online. My work fucking was terrible that shit had to close down. But I'd already told work that I didn't need to go.
Yeah.
Everything was basically put on hold. So I just sat up with my fucking knee done. I was like, well, this is fucking pretty awesome, isn't it? Just fucking did fucking nothing for a few weeks. It just was like, yeah, I'm pretty happy with this.
So let me just get this straight. So you were an inactive lard on the couch with an excuse and a note from the doctor.
Incorrect. I wasn't a lard on the couch. I was a lard in the bed. Okay, so I didn't actually leave my bedroom.
You didn't even get off the bed to the couch.
I think it's actually quite an effort. Achievement, I'll say. I fucking managed to stay in bed for a specific amount of time.
You can't be making fun of people in this day and age, you know. As soon as you
fucking a whole bunch of lards fucking coming in.
As soon as you give someone that sort of title, and you assign them to a group, then suddenly people get offended. And we're not about getting offended, but we're also about freedom of speech. So I'm going to call you a lard just straight up because you didn't move off the couch for how many weeks?
No, it wasn't a couch. Let's be clear, it was a fucking bed. I didn't fucking have to leave, man.
Yeah, you didn't get from the bed to the couch to start with.
So the thing that I was really missing out is because I haven't had too many surgeries in my time, and maybe my tonsils. And every time you see it in fucking the movies and shit,
Yeah.
I was desperate to get a fucking seriously hot nurse, and I've missed out on that twice now. I want an absolute fitty to be down by my side every fucking night, but
Are you saying that there were no athletically pleasing for their
all I'm
appearance in
saying
hospital?
is that when I wanted somebody to come over in the middle of the night to walk me on my side so that I could take a piss, it wasn't some fucking 8 out of 10 that was holding my cock, alright? That didn't happen. They weren't as fantastic as I was hoping.
I'm sure they were lovely.
I'm sure they were lovely.
You wouldn't doubt their skills. That's what it's about. They're absolutely lovely. Because the funny thing was, mid-COVID, and this is why I was probably so active on Overheard, I got a bit sick. I ended up in hospital. I was like severely dehydrated and stuff. Like nothing serious. Yeah.
Oh, you're super dehydrated.
It was probably very like.
Dude,
wasn't
Tom
just that.
Rath
There was a
got
few
COVID.
other things, but I was really sick. Couldn't do the homework. Couldn't
Had
do
COVID.
anything, and I was literally just laying in bed, smashing memes. So.
Smashing what?
Just smashing memes. Like
They said smashing meat. I was like,
Saying
he's
meat?
having
Like
a
what?
bat for fucking 2 weeks constantly.
No, not even talking anything like that. Like that's a little bit low brow.
Family-friendly
even for
content.
the Irish. But no, so we were making a few memes, and the thing that I sort of remember, I found this hilarious video, and this wasn't a big thing, but it was about some military video from Thailand or something. And they were like getting hit with a stick or something, and then there was like an absolute carnage that unfolded afterwards because it was.
So what the fuck was it? What happened?
It was just like a training video. Like they do a lot of these things in the military, but the video aside, it was just like a bit of a laugh. There was nothing wrong. Came out, I'm a sexist. Like I shouldn't be doing this. It's disgusting violence. It's racist because it was like. The Asian, I think it was a Thai army video.
Oh yes, because of course you would obviously post something for the intent to cause serious offence, and not because it might have been remotely funny.
I saw it was funny, and I was just trying to share the hilariousness that I had with other people, and the carnage that unfolded in the comments. It was absolute mayhem. But, and the thing that I thought was funny, there was one comment that sticks out, and. As soon as I say it, you'll probably remember because we had a bit of a chuckle when we were both sort of like sick. And it was, I would rather sit on a cactus than hang out with you. And so,
Brilliant.
And then the terminology, you disgusting cisgender white male.
Sorry, say that again.
You disgusting cisgender white male.
What's cisgender?
Cisgender, I had to look this up.
Okay, I haven't really heard of this shit.
Yeah, so I had to look this up.
Is this some leftist bollocks?
So I'm thinking, so cisgendered means that you identify as the physical anatomy that you were born with.
So you mean like, if I'm a cisgender, because I'm a bloke, I identify as a bloke, as a man. Is that what a cisgender means?
Yes.
So you mean normal? Isn't that what fucking is? Is that what
I don't know.
everybody is?
These terms, I can't keep up with them. I can't keep up. But, it's a
come on.
fucking,
Why
it's a joke. Like, come on.
Oh, fuck.
Because I didn't know what this term meant beforehand, and I'm a little bit.
Cisgender. Come on.
There's
I want
a
a better
term
name
for
for
everything.
that.
I mean, I think everyone's just a little bit too sensitive at the moment, and I think that's sort of the sensitivity is what sort of gets me. Like everyone that sort of like plays sport. I mean, Danny, you train with me. You know, I'm like a man about my fitness. I love to like keep going, and I don't really take offense to anything. Like,
I think yeah. So let's be clear. I don't think there's a lot someone could say to offend me. I mean, what are you gonna say to me? I think let's be clear. I'm in a really good boat here of being a skinny white bloke, alright? So there's not a lot you can say to fucking offend me.
Cisgendered white male.
Fucking unless you're going to call me out my political views and call me a cisgender fascist.
Yeah.
Although I wouldn't say I'm a fascist. I mean Hitler was a sensitive man, alright?
Yeah,
Let's be clear.
fantastic. So, and that sort of leads into like one of our chats, and we sort of want to start off. We're not going to go too spicy too early, but the thing I don't get, and all the boys that I train with in all the sports I play, they know how I feel, but the ability to call fat people fat people.
Oh God! All right,
We're starting low.
Okay,
because
start. Well, actually, I think to say we're starting light isn't so fair. We're talking about fat people already. All right,
bit of a pun. But we want to sort of start. We want to get this open discussion because that's what this is about. We want to get this discussion out there, and so I want to as a white male,
as a cisgender white,
we can say the least about anything out there. Like we have zero opinion that we can publicly vent out there, and we're at the bottom. We're at the absolute bottom, cisgendered white male, and then it builds on there, and there's a few other groups and stuff above us that have more privilege to say things. But
I mean, the ability to the thing that I find absolutely bizarre is that I can't call somebody fat without somebody saying oh my God, I can't believe you just said that.
Yeah.
Like, are you fucking serious?
But like we'll say, first of all, we have a lot of guys that are larger rugby players. So one of our boys, and he commented, Redfern is my boy.
We're gonna give him Redfern.
Gotta give him props.
Take that,
because
Redfern.
his favourite thing to say to me when we bring up anything is, you need fat guys to play rugby. 100%.
It's fucking 100% true.
100%.
It's 100% true, man.
Yeah.
You need fatties to play fucking big
'Cause
sport.
I'm not saying it like, oh, you're fat. Oh, like, this is the worst
Okay,
thing ever.
have you seen sumo wrestling? I don't think any of those are in tip-top fucking shape.
I just think it's a descriptive word, and that like anyone that sort of like calls you out for like singling something out like that. I mean, anyone could sort of single me out for being small and athletic build, but that's not offensive.
Yeah, you fucking skinny, athletic fucker.
Yeah, it is. But that's what this is about. So we're here. We're opening channels for people to talk about. We're the advocates for freedom of speech on campus. If anyone out there that's sort of listening wants to, even if they're going to heckle, they can come up. You have a gripe, tell me about your protest. Come up here and go.
If someone has a fucking nibble at us fucking calling you for fat, you fucking stand up straight and say, I take offense for you calling me fat. I'll fucking call you fat right now.
But
you fat
absolutely.
fuck.
Come up. We want to vent you. You want to protest? Come up here, because we're opening channels of speech. And the other thing that we didn't mention, so part of our our want for this campus culture is that we want to help sports clubs, anything. We want them to come out. If you have like a recruitment day, or if you have a club event or anything, because after O Week,
100%.
there's really nothing.
There's nothing. So one of the things that I found at my time at uni is that obviously when you see it in the movies, for example, you see the ideas of going to university. So there's this concept. I mean, the thing that's funny about when you look at universities is that everybody talks about going to uni and joining all these clubs and getting pissed and fucking having a great time. And then the idea that you actually have to study or anything, the idea that you actually got to study things is not quite kind of pushed forward. But the reality of it is that's kind of why you're at uni. But the thing is that you're here to have fun. You're here to have fun. So one of the best ways you can do that is when you come along to O Week and you actually can see the types of clubs that are actually going on, then you actually get a grasp of, here's the different social circles I can join. Now the thing is, not a lot of people actually get involved with that. Yeah. So for myself, although I was a lazy fucker on fucking day one, I don't think I actually went to my first day of O Week. But I did go throughout the week and actually try and see what was actually on offer. And that's the best way that you can find out about, okay, maybe I might join this club. Maybe I love ultimate frisbee. Maybe I want to go snowboarding. Maybe I want to play sport. Any sport or something.
You need to give it a crack. And there's I think there's 30 or 40 sports. If you've never played a sport and you give it a crack, you could have some fun. Even if you're not good at sport, you get into the social circles, you get on the pub crawls.
100%. 100%.
You get into that real uni sort of lifestyle experience, getting involved. Then on top of that, there's networking and the ability to meet people for jobs. It's.
Oh yeah, 100%. So for myself, the main thing that I joined in my first week was that I kind of been involved in rugby for quite a long time. I'd played a bit of water polo previously, but that wasn't really going to be my gig once I moved to fucking uni.
Yeah.
But that's when I actually met Tom Ralph here, the lovely gentleman sitting across from me. Look at that beautiful face of his. And but had a conversation with him because I wasn't sure if I was going to go and play rugby for the university or play for my old club. And basically had a chat, and he said he fucking laid it out pretty clear, because you think this is what was going on before, is that you think you go to uni and there's all these things happening constantly. But that's not the case nowadays.
No.
I mean, there's things happening, but they're not fucking giant fucking parties that are happening constantly on campus. You've got to join these specific social groups in order to find out about these gigs that are happening and find out about certain parties that are happening, pub crawls, etc., all that shit. So Tom said it to me fucking plain and clear. He was like, well, all right, hi, Danny, how are you? And I was like, hey, what's good, baby?
Yeah. This is the origin story of how the duo began.
Fucking T-Dragon and fucking D-Dragon.
So this was what, two years ago, because you're third year.
Yeah, so I'm third year now. So I went to O Week in 2018 was the fucking start of it. And I came along and I knew I was going to go to the rugby tent because I was like, well, I better check out what all the rugby shit, the university club's like. And Tom basically said it clear to me. He was like, well, there's not a lot that actually happens after your fucking first week. So join our club and see what happens. Yeah. And I said, all right, well, I'll join the rugby club. We'll see what the crack is. And then, went out to a few trainings, and then I started chatting to Tom, as he was actually, I know everyone thinks that he's a fucking blunt motherfucker, but he actually welcomed me with open arms, so I think he's actually a little kinder.
Don't be telling everyone that, because I'm not a nice person. I mean, look online.
No, dude,
I'm bad.
no. Tom Ralph is a terrible person.
Yeah.
He's awful. You shouldn't fucking want to see him at all. But Tom
Got
Ralph
to keep up the
welcomed
mantra.
me.
Got to keep up the mantra.
Welcomed me in open arms, and fuck that. And there was one night, I think, what was it? There was one night we were getting on the piss, and the first. I mean, you wanted me to tell the story real bad, didn't you?
No. So, yeah, you sort of. I literally, as we wrote down that we wanted to mention us talking about the clubs, I remembered about the story. And this is the one thing I remember from your O Week, because I was obviously a few years into uni, and this story sticks out of all my O Week stories ever. And this is how I remembered you. And then when you came into training, I mean, you weren't like the greatest athlete.
So.
No, just taking the mic. Yeah, you punch above your weight. So you told me this story, and it was I still feel you had a thicker Irish accent in that first O Week I met you than now.
Oh, you think I talked a bit more like this, all the time?
Yes,
think
like that.
That's not how I speak.
So, tell us the story.
So the background to it is that now, this isn't obviously everybody. This isn't everybody, but one of the things I was getting really fucking sick and tired of was the fact that this idea that people don't rate people on scales is just bollocks. All right, from the fucking dawn of time, mankind has used scales to determine the attractiveness of one person to another. Now this goes for both blokes and chicks. Now, the idea that people go, no, I'm not too big, I'm not too fond on looks. Yeah. All right, mate, settle down, white knight. I mean, fair play, that might be you. I mean, the problem is that people will rate people on a scale of 1 to 10. Now, I know not people are going to really want to hear this about fucking hearing about how you fucking rate somebody, how hot they are.
All right, we get it. Stop putting all the political stuff.
I want to say,
you're not trying to offend people.
I want to say,
you've got a story from the ancient scrolls.
Okay. All I want to say is that there sits a bell curve where everybody sits on your fucking attractiveness scale. But the problem is that when you hit on the lower end of the scale, it's a bit more difficult to tell apart the trolls from just the generic cave dwellers, okay? Let's just put it that way. So there's a combination of... so what happened is that I was over in on my gap year away. I had a gap year, reflects that. And basically, there was one night out when I was in a place in the southeast of England called Tunbridge Wells. We went out clubbing, or was it? No, I think it was Tunbridge Wells. We went out for a bit of crack, and ended up bringing some birds. It was with some birds, And the problem is that I think she may have had the beer goggles on.
Yeah.
Because
a few.
I was quite ecstatic because this bird was booking 9 in my books.
So
And I think
let's just call you the boxer because you're obviously punching above
I
your
was
weight.
punching above my weight. let's be
above your
clear.
weight.
And she said, "All right, well, let's fucking get this going, baby." And I was a bit upset when I thought everything was going fucking fantastically, and then we get back to her place, and she goes, "Oh, hello there, Dan. Do you mind putting a bag over your head?"
Yeah.
I was like,
What? She wanted to put a bag over your head.
She wanted me to put a bag over my head. And I said, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's like just trust me." I was like, "All right." Anyway, I ended up doing a bit of research. I went to the nearby library, okay, and I went digging deep, and I found some of the ancient scrolls, the ancient literature, which found that as soon as you dip below about a 4 on your attractiveness scale, it becomes a bit more difficult to differentiate between the 1s, the 2s, the 3s, and the 4s. So what I uncovered was the fact that there was a new scale involved. There's a new scale.
A new scale. What do you mean the old scale from the ancient scrolls?
A new scale to me.
A new scale for you. Okay.
No, sorry, not an old scale, an ancient scale, archaic. I had to blow the dust off.
Blow the dust off.
And they had the original bag. Basically, the concept is that when you take somebody home at the end of the night, bloke, chick, whatever, and they're nowhere near as good looking as you once thought.
Yeah.
I think, fuck, all right, this is pretty horrific. If I want to get down to business, I can't even look what's going on here. So he's like, can you fucking wear this bag, please? So this is the first tier of this system called a single bagger.
So this is a single bagger.
A single bagger. So you put a bag
One
over
tier.
their head. The whole point is that you can't bear the fact of looking at them while you're fucking them, and you have to have a bag over their head while you're going for it.
Yeah.
Now, you think that's kind of bad enough. The second tier is called the double bagger. Now, this is something where the sheer fact of having the bag over their head isn't enough, and that they're so awful, so awful. You have to have a bag over their head and a bag over your head in case their bag falls
cheap
off.
insurance policy. Yeah.
Now, there's one last tier, which is as bad as it gets. Now, you've got the bag over their heads, because they're horrific. The bag over your head in case their bag falls off. So the triple bagger is when you've got some absolute troll who's come home with you, and you can't deal with it. So what you go is like, fuck, this is a crime now. This is absolute crime. So you say, put a bag over her head, bag over your head, and you leave a bag at the door in case someone walks in and has to throw up. And that's the triple bagging
Triple
system.
bagger. That is ruthless. I'm going to be honest. That is
That's the way it
hilarious,
is, baby.
No, that's great. No, but fantastic. No, I mean
That's the triple bagger system.
that story
It's not.
is what I remember from O Week, except there was a little bit less being nice in it. It was a little bit more to the point.
I was a bit more aggressive about my hatred towards ugly people, but
It was
I think,
a lot
we'll-
shorter story, and it was it was grand, but that was classic. But then, so the one thing that we
What are we
spoke
going
about
with here?
after that story is because this chick was driving what started the story. She was driving the bag thing, and then you came out and then you were like, this story fucking kind of never really happened, but it's pretty funny. But it sort of did. It was just different. And then I was like, yeah, but it's funny that the chick was driving. And the thing that I find that with girls,
Fucking
is that
female drivers.
the female drivers.
Are we talking about female
Not saying
drivers?
no. I'm not talking about female drivers. I'm not talking about that. But I'm saying the
Oh,
attitude.
sorry.
The
Not
attitude.
exactly, the
with
attitude.
females is that it's like
The attitude, let's be
standard
clear.
banter that girls are terrible drivers to their friends because they all want to get out of driving. So they're like, I suck at driving, so Stacey's gonna drive.
They're more than happy to tell you that they're bad drivers. They're
Yeah.
more than happy to tell you that.
But then, with lads.
No,
everyone.
I'm the best driver.
Yeah, with lads.
I'm the
No.
best.
Man, have you seen me? I'm a Daniel Ricciardo in F1. Like, I'm the bomb. But then you get in the car with those guys, and they crash into a Stoby Bowl. They are the absolute pits.
And you go, hang on a sec, why the fuck I thought you said you're a great driver? You're like, oh yes, I am a great driver, but I only had 3 pints, and it kind of sent me over the
and
edge.
just absolutely ring your bell, and you're like, and they'll total their car, and you're just like, oh, that was bad.
Oh
But-
boy.
Oh,
boy.
ring your bell. That's classic. So, the other, I want to sort of like open the channels for advocacy on campus, for fun events, things that they want, like whether you think they're crazy or not. I want to see a boxing ring at Unibar on campus.
Okay, so Tom has told me about this concept before of opening up a boxing ring on campus. And I'm quite frankly in 2 minds about it because I think, A, it's fucking never going to happen. But
Hey,
B, it'd be great if it did happen.
We've had a boxing ring on campus before. I've got photos of it. But what I
Okay.
want to see is like, say like Overheard is the application arena, and you challenge someone. Come down to Unibar on a Friday. It may not be boxing. You get your helmets. It could be inflatable sumo suits. But you have a tussle.
Nah. Fuck the sumo suits. Fucking bare fist fighting on the fucking
But
mat.
that's what I reckon. I mean, like, imagine coming into Unibar, and you sit there and you're like, oh, who's on the cards? Oh, someone else challenged Tom. Yeah, he's gonna get his bell around.
Yeah. This is about the 3rd person challenging fucking today.
I'm 23 rounds deep because I keep getting challenged and I'm getting a little bit tired. But
I just need a quick banana and I'll be grand.
yeah, and I reckon it'd just be funny because, like, you could imagine we all do group projects. We have that one group member that doesn't respond or doesn't go to group work and doesn't do their thing, and it's like, bruh, don't worry about the celts of you. Get in the ring, son. Come on down.
All right, so you fuck off the idea at the end of your fucking group chat and you say, don't worry, I'll give you either a 0 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10 if you beat me in a fight.
I'm not saying, yeah. I think it'd just be comical. I mean, you could have 5, 10 sort of on the cards. It could be like a bit of a muck around. It could be not. Or you could, we've got like how many martial arts clubs on campus. You could also have like
fucking Wing Chub comes out and
Wing
fucking...
Chub, Taekwondo, Judo. Like, what else?
I want to see
Is
my
there
boy
karate?
Hayden Lee come out and fucking kill
I
somebody.
don't know. Oh, Wing Chub Club of the Year 2019. Absolute
Stolen.
Wing
Yeah.
Chub. But yeah, like, I mean, you could come out, you could watch a good fight. There'd be a spectacle.
A spectacle.
This is why I do engineering, because I'm good with numbers and not words.
I can write shit down. I can't speak, man.
I mean, you blame it on your accent. I just blame it on
So I'm allowed to give away the slurring, basically, but
because it's the
that's
part
all-
of the
I'm
Irish
all-
accent.
Okay, well you can pretend like I'm Irish all you want.
Yeah.
Let's say I'm not.
Absolutely.
I'm Australian, baby. Australian.
Yeah, and like we should be able to make fun of each other. Like, your accent's funny. When I went into to America, they were all like, "Oh, Skippy with the loud accent." I was like, "Yeah."
No, people say that about you all the time.
Yeah.
Fucking Mr.
I
Loud
mean, like, I'm
twat.
pretty loud. So they say the loud part, but they're calling me Skippy because I'm Aussie. That was the different part. But like, I now understand when people are like, "Oh, you've got an Irish accent," and you're just like, "Ugh," and it's like, well, no, it is different.
All right. Yeah, but mine's cooler than yours, so
It is.
I'm
No,
fucking fuck with that.
there's nothing better than an
All right,
Irish accent.
all right, okay,
But
I wanna,
like, it's all about having fun and being
Exactly.
able to comment. Like, because when I
That's-
say to you about
boxing
the
rings, they're
accent,
fun.
the boxing ring's fun. Making commenting about
Take
your
the piss out
accent's
of
a
each
bit of
other's
fun.
fun. Yeah, of
but
course.
then let's have a bit of chat about the promo videos. I mean,
Oh.
they had nothing to do with the podcast whatsoever.
Okay. Let's be clear. The promo videos were all a bit of wank. They were all a bit of fun just to have.
They were on
They've
the-
got
they were on
nothing
the
to do
wonk.
with us. The
'Cause I know you love that word, the wonk. You love it.
On
But,
the wonk.
On the wonk. But no, like,
on the wong.
on the wonk. But we sort of saw like when we were filming these promo videos, we were in law, and then like everyone's sort of being like semi-professional. In engineering, everyone's like crunching numbers and just like doing their thing. And
It was only right that we had to take the piss out of as many people as we could.
Yeah.
But in a lighthearted way. We could have gone a bit worse, but
we could have.
We could have gone well worse.
I mean, like the
I think we
person,
went pretty lighthearted.
the person who says the most offensive fascist regime sort of supporting
Tom is a
scenarios.
fascist. He's a homophobe, a sexist. Everywhere in the book, throw it at him. I think he's both a communist and a fascist. At the same time.
I prefer dictator because then I'm the numero
yes. Hi, Rolf.
But
Hi, Rolf.
yeah, and so we were like trying to get into all the sort of psyches of like all the degrees, and just have a bit of fun because not many people between the faculties sort of like mingle, but everyone has a sort of view. Like everyone has a view on engineering, everyone has a view on law. I mean, I would say everyone has a view on arts, but I already know that. And like arts are fantastic. This is what people don't get. Arts are fantastic.
We
like,
love the arts.
Finger painting is just a
so much
classic
fun, man.
little sledge.
So much fun.
Because after the promo videos, I'm a finger painter. Literally finger painter. So I'm
Thomas is chief finger painter.
I'm an art student now. I'm in there. I'm getting down and dirty. But
okay, but part of the best thing about so obviously we had great crack while we're actually filming these videos. One of the best things that actually happened was now I know they're gonna. I think they'll be happy that they're getting some clout. They're getting some fucking fame here. We came out of the Engineering South building one day. I think this was still during semester technically. This was like start of semester. I'm fairly sure first week or something. I think at least. But what happened was, and I didn't realize this shit actually happened. But we came out and we were chatting. We're like, all right, well, we'll do some shot through here. We'll do this, and then. As we were walking past, somebody fucking said, what they say? He say, Tom Ralph, you should be
I'm a
fucking ashamed of
fascist.
yourself.
What is it? I'm a fascist. I'm a
white
wing
was it? Did they call you a white supremacist as well, or am I?
Yeah, there was that. I sort of forget because it's the same sort of like Rolodex of like compliments that they give me. Because like, I mean, I don't align with anything that they sort of say.
There's
but what I'm saying
group of people
is that they throw the same content out at me. It's always the same sledges. They can keep slinging it, nothing sticks. But yeah, so they were saying fascist, and then so then they went on to the hat. They were like, oh, the hat, the Make U of A Great Again hat. They said, oh, your hat, the red hat, it stands for like getting people kidnapped by the secret police in Portland, and it's supportive of a fascist regime and yada yada yada. And then we sort of said to them, so what do you have anything to base off? Like what you're sort of saying? And
so
then,
this bird who was basically chatting all this rubbish. I don't think she'd even actually met you in person ever, so she had no idea what kind of crack you were actually on about. But the thing was that like was hurling all this shit based on what she'd read you post on Facebook, commenting, taking the piss out of them. Which I think if you did that for everybody, I'm not too sure what the result would be.
They're judging me before they've had a chat. I mean, there's a few people in engineering that have sort of thought, oh, we'll hit him up, we'll get him to say some ridiculous stuff. And the thing about engineers is they give a problem that they think is going to get a spicy react. But then it just gets resolved.
We can get into all that, but at the end of the day, this person just fucking started hurling abuse and shite with no fucking grounding. And then as soon as you started saying, why do you think this? You're like, because you're this.
Yeah.
It's like, so why am I this? Because you're that. It's like, imagine saying, you're a fascist. It's basically like the same example is like, oh, you're a fascist. And then you go, oh, why am I a fascist? He goes, because you're a fascist.
Yeah.
And it's like,
that's,
fucking come
that's,
on.
But that's the same sort of stuff that they keep slinging. And, so first of all, we're coming back to the comps that have sort of come around. So we've got a jug of beer. We have the best mullet wig out in the contest. We've got our man over here. I'll just turn the camera to see.
We got this man. It's hopefully, I'm not sure if he can see us.
If we could stand up in the mullet
Someone
wig.
help this guy. Help this
He's
guy.
got the sunnies on.
Go on, give this guy a hand.
The absolute champion. He's in view there on the bottom right. We could stand up, son.
No,
He's ducking.
Up you go.
He's standing up. We've got the winner. We've got the winner of the mullet wig comp.
This man
Here we go. Fantastic.
Come on over, baby.
All right. Well done, son. Come up, have a bit of a chat. Who are you? Just up the front here.
Stand a little bit clear of the mic, just please.
So just drop back a little bit. Drop
back a little bit.
Just on the ground there. Yeah, just a little bit. We'll get your height.
All right, have a look at this glorious thing right here.
What's your name? What's going on?
What's your name, baby? What's your name, darling?
Sam.
Sam here.
Good. We're having a great grand night.
Oh, good day, darling.
We're having a little bit of troubles with the microphone.
But Sam's
what's
over here.
What's the occasion for the dress up? Oh, absolutely.
Nice.
That is
Fucking fair play there, lad.
Fantastic, man. Absolutely. Great. I love your energy. Grab a jug up at the bar there. You've earned it for dressing up. Well done, son. You've earned
Enjoy.
it. Yep.
Go
Real
on.
jug.
You got it.
Liquid, son.
Enjoy, sweetheart.
Enjoy yourself.
Go on, mate.
Yeah. Jug,
Enjoy.
just for doing that. We like to
Enjoy.
encourage people.
People
We
who
love
actually want to
encourage
duck and have a
people
bit of
up here,
laugh
having
on
a bit of
campus.
fun, get a little bit silly. Whether you're wearing a mullet wig or you're doing things.
Enjoy.
But that's sort of it. I mean, that's all. Like normally, it's sort of hard. Like with the carnage from NG Barbecue, everyone's sort of like in the lull. They're about.
It's good. It's good chat though. It's good shit
great
though.
chat. They're about 10 pints deep. They're enjoying themselves. They're doing their thing. But man over here with a mullet, love it. I love to see that energy. But
I just want people to dress
yeah.
up more. That's all I want.
That's sort of it. That's sort of it. I mean, apart from another reiteration, like the clubs, hit up our Facebook page, get us our info through so we can pump you through our socials. We'd like to promote as many uni clubs as possible. We want to try to get out any sort of events or recruiting drives you have. Hit us up and then we'll get you there. The sort of future of this podcast is definitely sort of determined with COVID because we've got a lot of guests lined up. The whole point of this is that we have a guest, we converse with them, we have arguments or like discussion topics. I should say more.
So it's gonna evolve basically. It's gonna turn into something else. It's not just us chatting
just
shit for fucking.
at the moment, because of COVID, we have to resolve with this sort of scenario. But we want to get people here. We've got people both at the uni, not at the uni, lecturers, a couple of like PhD supervisors, people that are in the engineering sort of firm, a couple of people in economics that I've spoken to. They want to get on here and chat about a few things. Just sort of like publish what's going on.
Sustainability, you know, that actually are
Because
keen to come in. There's a few things
a
that
lot
we're
of
talking
people
around.
outside of your faculty, you don't know what's going on. Like the
No
things that
idea.
this uni does. Like obviously, I'm a big advocate for this uni, and it's not like I don't know what it is. It's just I love sport. I'm obviously very heavily invested in sport, but like there's a huge drive for sport. There's a huge drive for culture on this campus, but it's coming sort of like from the establishment, from the people that work here, from the sports office, which do a great job.
We need more people that actually want to get involved with certain things, which is basically our way of trying to help this out. That's basically one of the reasons for this behind, is that we wanted to kind of get something going. So we want to try and encourage more people to get involved and do their own projects across campus. So the idea that you've got to wait for something to happen for you is bollocks. You've got to try and... Things just aren't going to happen for you.
Yeah.
Try and get out there. If you've got an idea which you think would be great fun, great crack on campus, go for it. See, charge the right people and it'll happen most likely.
That's it. But it takes people, like especially like students, to know what students want, and if it's driven by students, then you go, oh, I'm going to do that. Whereas if it's driven by like someone that's a little bit older, some people that aren't as like outgoing, they go, oh, you know, that's not so cool, and so the things get put on. And then
keep going, man. Just keep going. Like if you've got fucking any sort of idea which you think is quite funny,
That's
or you
it.
think like actually it'd be a bit of fun to actually do this, well then why not? Basically.
Yeah, and that's it. And that's the thing. So, like, there's a big drive for, like, clubs. There's a big drive for everything on campus. I mean, this episode is not sort of like how the final product would look like, because we're dealing with these sort of COVID situations. But we also need feedback from these clubs and student input, because we want a student-driven social calendar and get things that want. Like, I mean, if no one wants this will go away. and I'm going to regain like a few hours of my week, and there's going to be no skin off my back. It's just like
fun.
I'm just looking to make a little bit of fun. So sort of on that note,
So we'll wrap it up there.
Yeah.
Everybody that's came out here either to come and listen to us, or that's just here to actually enjoy themselves for once on campus. Thank you for coming around. Like,
that's
this is
it.
one of the most social spots you can be at on campus, so it's good to fucking see you all here. Perfect.
that's it. Come on down to Unibar and then have a bit of fun. Have a couple of Friday Arvo brews, and you'll see a couple of the marketing team's socials coming out.
You might hear
All right,
more
fantastic.
from us.
All right, see you, Danny. See you
Cheerio.
guys. It's been
Thanks very
fun.
much.
It's been real. All right, enjoy. Out
Cheers.
from Unibar Adelaide.